CBS News Miami.
Good afternoon, and thank you for joining us. I'm Najahe Sherman, and welcome to CBS News Miami's 4 p.m. Quickcast. Let's take a look at today's top stories.
Always alerting, always tracking. This is Next Weather.
And taking a live look outside a beautiful shot of downtown Miami. The warm weather returns, but will the rain follow? Next Weather meteorologist Dave Warren joins us with all the answers.
Yes, it'll try to work its way into the area here. So we have the warm temperatures. We're back to the mid-80s. In fact, we've given up a degree or two. Clouds came in. Nice breeze coming in off the ocean there. So a nice and comfortable afternoon and evening. Might notice the humidity's crept up just a bit. We'll drop into the upper 70s here overnight tonight. There's the rain. We'll keep an eye on these showers. They're right along the Keys, but just to the south. They may start to drift north just a bit here. Otherwise, we just have a few passing clouds. The radar in the clouds tracking everything. Let's go right to what we expect over the next 6 hours. You can see these showers drifting north just a bit. So a shower in the forecast, but only in the Keys. Key West up to Marathon, maybe up to Key Largo, but it stays south of Miami-Dade and Broward counties here. Overnight, the temperatures will be hovering into the lower 80s, the upper 70s. We'll put mostly cloudy skies here for the rest of the afternoon and evening. It is warm out there. The showers lifting to the north. That's what we can expect to see tomorrow. Right along the Keys, maybe up into parts of Miami-Dade. But as it lifts to the north, a front's approaching and it'll push it off the coast. We'll stay dry as the front nears Saturday, but the wind briefly turns to the north. That drops the humidity just a bit. Pleasant afternoon sunshine. Not a bad looking Saturday. Sunday, the front works its way through, and it's really not until Monday and Tuesday where we start to see this wind turning to the east to northeast. It gets gusty. Pretty strong wind coming in. It'll be some rough surf and likely some rip currents here to start next week. As far as the rain tracker goes, we'll keep an eye on the showers that lift to the north. Now, it's right off the coast here overnight tonight, 10 to 11 o'clock, where we see activity really increasing a bit. Again, the rain's lifting to the north, the storm's lifting north, but then they get pushed off to the east there. So they really don't make it up into the metro areas, but we can't rule out just a brief shower. Mainly in the morning. By the afternoon, everything's pushing off the coast here, and you get that drier breeze coming in tomorrow night. Forecast tomorrow, we'll keep sunny skies, just a few clouds around. We'll put the showers in the forecast mainly south, upper 70s, then partly cloudy skies, and we'll taper the clouds off. Clouds will clear out, and temperatures will drop into the upper 70s if we get some drier air coming in. That humidity tracker there, it dips to dry Saturday night, Sunday. The moisture does start to creep its way back into the area next week. Tracking the tropics, we have Tropical Storm Tammy, the forecast to actually become a hurricane. So there's warnings now coming in, tropical storm warnings, as the storm itself will continue to move northwest. That's what it looks like on the satellite picture there, moving west at 14 miles an hour. The wind 60 miles an hour. The forecast turn to the north and eventually the northeast coming in over the weekend. We'll watch this to make sure it occurs after it passes by the islands there. It is forecast to become a hurricane. There it is Tuesday, turning to the northeast. Extended forecast has temperatures into the mid-80s and dry over the weekend. Wind turns to the northeast and then it gets windy. Monday night, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, a few showers will be passing through the area with that strong breeze.
Plumes of thick smoke rising above buildings in northern Gaza. Airstrikes pounded locations across the Gaza Strip. The Israel Ministry of Defense received a cargo shipment of armored vehicles. The vehicles are being transferred to the IDF to replace those damaged during the war. President Biden is planning a primetime speech tonight from the Oval Office. It's following his trip to Israel. The wartime visit meant to show strong support and to prevent an escalating conflict. CBS News Miami's Tina Kraus is live in Tel Aviv with the latest. Tina.
Najahe, Israeli tanks are parked near the border waiting to roll into Gaza. There are new signs tonight that order could come soon. We've got tens of thousands of Israeli reserve troops getting into place, looking for the green light to take on Hamas and bring back their hostages.
Israel's defense minister told troops gathered at the Gaza border they will soon see Hamas territory from the inside, signaling a ground invasion could come soon. The The Israeli military has updated the number of hostages being held by Hamas to more than 200. Devastated family members are calling for their immediate release.
Stop now and release all children, babies, elderly, women that are not part of this war.
Prime Minister.
A day after President Biden's visit, Britain's Prime Minister arrived in Israel to show his support.
I'm proud to stand here with you in Israel's darkest hour. As your friend, we will stand with you in solidarity.
He also mourned innocent Palestinian civilians caught in the crossfire of Israel's blistering airstrikes on Hamas in retaliation for its brutal October 7th terrorist attacks.
Israel has agreed to allow humanitarian aid into Gaza to relieve the suffering of civilians, while Hamas continues to fire rockets across the border. Here in Tel Aviv, we've been hearing sirens sounding the alarm.
This resident showed us debris he says came from a rocket intercepted by Israel's Iron Dome defense system. He says it's up to Hamas to end this war.
When we put down our weapons, they attack us. If they put down their weapons, there will be peace.
Israel had originally said it would allow no aid into Gaza until Hamas releases the hostages. But with more than 1 million Palestinians displaced from their homes, the first delivery of food, water, and medicine could begin arriving tomorrow.
The U.S. State Department says it is watching closely to make sure that aid gets to civilians and not into the hands of Hamas. Naja?
Tina, thank you so much for your reporting. Israel's defense minister promised a ground invasion of Gaza. He told troops to be ready to see the territory from the inside. Now President Biden will address the nation tonight. He is expected to announce the U.S. is sending $100 million in humanitarian aid to civilians in Gaza and the West Bank. We asked Senator Scott about concerns that money will end up in the hands of Hamas.
This is crazy. I mean, we've got Hamas is holding Americans and Israelis hostage, and we're going to give them money. And on top of that, think about this. We're going to give money to the Palestinian Authority that gives money to the family of dead terrorists for killing Americans. So we're going to take American taxpayer money. So if your child got killed, you're going to pay taxes so your government can give, the U.S. government can give that to Palestinian Authority to give to the terrorists that killed your kid. This makes zero sense. Does my heart go out for the people in Gaza? Absolutely. You know who's doing it to them? Hamas. The Palestinian Authority. That's who's doing it to them.
So how do you get aid to the Palestinian people who are truly in need? Because they've been waiting for this aid to come in through the Egypt border. The U.S. is trying to help the humanitarian aid crisis. How do you get aid to those who truly need it?
Sure. Well, first off, Egypt can open up its borders, right? I mean, Egypt is a big supporter of the Palestinians. Open their borders. Why aren't they doing it? I mean, no country over there is opening their borders.
And you can watch that full interview with Senator Rick Scott online by going to cbsmiami.com. Just go to the video section. And as we mentioned, President Biden will deliver a primetime address to the nation tonight at 8. And you can watch it live right here on CBS or streaming on cbsmiami.com. Stay with CBS News Miami on air and online for continuing coverage of the Israel-Hamas war. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Welcome back to CBS News Miami's 4 p.m. Quickcast. CBS News Miami has confirmed that Ohio Congressman Jim Jordan will stay in the race to become House Speaker. CBS News Miami's Natalie Brand has the latest.
Will you be Speaker by the end of the day?
Ohio Congressman Jim Jordan says he's not bowing out of the House Speaker's race, but is calling for a timeout. Jordan is now backing a plan to give Speaker Pro Tem Patrick McHenry expanded power to preside over the House.
Are you disappointed to see Mr. Jordan supporting this idea?
Yeah, absolutely. We voted for him to be our Speaker nominee. We only had 2 votes. I wanted to see it keep going today and find a way to work with the holdouts to get together so that we can continue doing our work. And I don't know why this is happening, so I'm very disappointed.
The extra time gives Jordan a chance to try and sway the more than 20 Republican holdouts.
I think if he's not making progress and indeed he's hemorrhaging votes, then yeah, I think we need to go back to the
drawing board.
As the only candidate currently in the race, his supporters have urged him to keep fighting.
It's now time to get a speaker. Is it going to be pleasant? No, it's how democracy works. I don't begrudge the 17 that are opposed to him. He's got 200 votes. Who else can get that?
There are enough Republicans who oppose the temporary speaker plan to kill it unless a majority of Republicans make a deal with Democrats to pass it.
The key is that they come to us and say, we'll take yes for an answer. Let's get a bipartisan solution to move forward with their speaker.
Congress has less than a month to pass a spending bill to keep the government open, and President Biden is expected to ask Congress for $100 billion in aid for security needs, including Israel, Ukraine, and the border. Natalie Brand, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
And happening tonight, the Florida Panthers will welcome fans back to Sunrise for their home opener. The Cats will host Toronto. The puck drops at 7 p.m. In this week's Miami Proud, we introduce you to a local dentist who is helping to put a smile on many faces here in our community and all around the world. Dr. Sierra's mission is to change lives one smile at a time. For more than 20 years, she has served the South Florida community through her practice, but she wanted to do more and to help those who could not afford dental care. That's when she founded Sharing Smiles, a nonprofit providing free care to those in need.
Once we start working on them, I start literally tearing up, but it's tears of joy, because although we're not fixing the world, but we're fixing one patient at a time. And if we're able to plant the seed of giving back, whether it's in your community or halfway across the globe, we will be a better place, we'll be a better human being as a whole.
Beautiful. That's how you do it. Her mission to help others has taken her all around the world. That is your Quickcast. I'm Najahe Sherman. Stay tuned for more news right here on CBS News Miami.